Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Talk to Me Nice. We talk about life and all things spice and sugar nation.
What is the hair doing?
Yeah. Talk to me nice, yeah. You need some sugar,
We have our sisters in the building.
yeah. You know it goes down on the high speed. And every episode it gets spicy. Would you rather with Shay? Or would you rather with Nature? Talk to me nice, yeah. Talk to me nice, yeah.
Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of
Talk to me nice, where we talk about love, life,
and all things spice. It's your girl Donation.
and Miss Shea Butter Baby.
And we have a guest today, y'all.
Hola. Hola.
Introduce yourself.
It's Fernando. I like to be monogamous, so just call me Fernando. Stepdaddy Nando on all platforms. I don't really post a lot anymore, but if you want to find me.
Okay.
Just love him.
Yes. Another NLR classmate.
Yes.
Y'all know the vibes.
He's just put together so well. Y'all see this face? Did
Not
you
at
model?
Y'all see the sexy
Not at all.
chocolate?
What? Are
I
you a
do.
model?
I do model.
Look at this.
I do.
We know. The material is there.
No.
You see the material.
Not at all. Cheap work.
Please.
So let us know what's been going on lately with you, how's life and everything.
So truthfully, I feel like with the closer I get to 30, I'm just a lot more focused on saving money and, establishing myself in a more financial way.
Right.
Yeah.
I think all of us are still young and searching, but
Mhm.
I just want to save money while I'm searching.
Yes.
I've
As
been,
we all do.
Yeah. So I definitely still try to pursue a lot of my different film pursuits and stuff like that because that's always what I really wanted to do. But in the process, I'm still, working the big boy jobs.
Mhm.
I have an interview in Atlanta on Tuesday.
Okay, good
These
luck.
are yours, boo.
Yes, it's yours.
And truthfully, I'm not eager to just get up and leave Arkansas
Mhm.
because it's so cheap here. And I mean, I've lived in California. I was born in Milwaukee.
Oh,
So
okay.
I've seen what else is out there. I did a lot of traveling as a kid. And so this is a cheap place to live.
Mhm.
Very, arguably safer than a bigger city,
Yeah.
bigger state. And
Yeah.
so I'm not just eager to get up and go, but I will go where the money takes me. So
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Where the
Atlanta,
money reside.
for sure.
that's the city of the dreamers, I hear,
Yeah.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely a lot of film opportunities in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm. Well, I know you have big things coming up in your future. I could just already, just by knowing you, I just know.
I hope so.
You're going to
Yeah.
have great things.
I
So.
hope so.
kicking off businesses in Atlanta, they always pop off because they support in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like, there's always some,
Mhm.
for people to get into. So,
Very
Yeah.
minority friendly.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm. That's one thing I always say about our class. We got some heavy hitters,
Yeah.
not too much.
Yes.
Like we have a lot
Sure.
of successful people that came into our class.
Yes.
So
shout out 2015.
Yes,
Yes,
for sure.
y'all.
Northern Rock as a whole.
yeah,
Northern Rock as a whole. I think they definitely produce giants. And so,
yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Do you plan to come to the reunion this year?
So, funny enough, I did not plan on going to the reunion.
But say, I think you're on a committee, right?
I am.
Okay, I saw your name.
Yeah. I did
Yeah.
not want to go to the reunion because
No.
I just didn't know why I was going to go to the reunion.
Mhm.
But I keep running into classmates and they keep asking me, am I going? And,
Yes.
and then I saw the post about the committees. And so
Yeah.
I said, I might as well.
Might as well.
So, yeah.
Definitely. We got to see Fernando.
No.
Yes, come on now.
Nobody's special.
Yes. Everyone's going to be so excited to see you.
Yes.
I think the thing about it was, I feel like in high school, a large part of me felt like my identity was wrapped around my relationship.
Mhm.
And it was kind of
Like
hard,
that.
Yeah.
and it was hard for me to even see myself outside of that. And so it was just an awkward thought to myself to imagine going to this reunion, and
Some of
who
those
am I?
same
Yeah.
Comparing it or just
Yeah.
like remembering that last memory of you.
Yeah.
I get it. I get
Yeah.
it.
So,
I was
Okay,
kind of
that makes
excited about that
sense.
too, though, honestly. So I can get what you're coming from.
Yeah.
and hopefully that high school crush isn't there.
I don't think so. Hopefully. I mean, 4 years of high school. How many did you go to North Little Rock?
Just three.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
3.
Yeah. Not too
But-
bad. Not too bad.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I think it's best to go because tomorrow's not promised,
Right.
And I know that a lot of classes do like 20 years and 15 years, and I'd want to make it to that. So
Yeah.
might as well go to the 10 too.
Right.
Mhm.
10 years, I just still cannot believe it. Like, I just feel
Yeah.
like
It flew.
It flew.
Yeah,
flew.
so when they say time flies, they do not be
They
exaggerating.
do not plan. Like, please, y'all, 18-year-olds, whatever, y'all think y'all got time?
Yeah.
Yes.
Even as a kid, when
Make
your
the most
parents
of it.
tell you what they be saying, something you gonna wish you
Yeah,
would
you gonna wish
did.
Yeah.
I see
feel
what
like,
you're talking about, Mom.
Mhm.
I feel like these last 10 years went by so much faster than the 4 years of high school.
Yeah, no, literally.
So much faster.
Would
Yeah.
y'all do a redo, or would y'all keep high school the same?
No, I told you I'd do high school all over again.
The same way, though?
The same way.
Well,
Redo the same way.
I think if there's anything that I would do different, I wish that I had have like done track.
Mhm.
You know, I'm not really an athlete, and I know North Little Rock's the athletic school,
Yeah.
but I do wish that I had did track just to establish more of like a fitness routine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, get my body when I'm still young. I know we're still young, and
Yeah.
you know, but those track bodies, they
I was
last.
gonna say them track bodies.
They last.
Nice.
So
I always thought about running track. But I seen them pictures
Yeah.
back there.
Yeah, for
I said,
sure.
okay,
for sure.
okay
But
now.
I lived in Southwest all the high school, and you know, I rode the city bus to and from school. And so if I didn't catch that bus, I wasn't gonna make it home.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would have been hard to do anything after school. But
Yeah.
that's what I would have did different if I could do anything different.
Yeah.
You know?
I think I would have redid. I don't think I would have did it the same. No,
Yeah.
I mean, I just would have. If I could redo high school, I would. But I would just do it differently, I guess.
Differently. Yeah. I enjoy high school. I would do it all over. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I would change, but no, I feel like I was pretty involved. I did a lot in high school. So yeah, I had a good time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wasn't as memorable for me, I guess. I mean, obviously my friends and what I did with my friends outside of school and stuff like that, but I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't think I would have allowed so much of myself to be associated with a partner. You know, I think I would do that differently too, because you know,
it just
when,
consumes you.
yeah, and when you're young, your boyfriend or girlfriend, you think that that's forever, and it's not.
Yeah.
Then the whole school know what's going on. And you're like,
Right.
It's always like that. Every high school relationship, the whole high school knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Right.
So I would definitely do that part different. You know, be more focused on me and establish more of an identity for just myself. You know,
Right.
because I think that was the biggest difference for me in college versus high school.
Same.
You know, it was just me, and I think that worked out a lot better than stepping into college in a relationship. Well, I was still in the relationship, but the relationship didn't follow me to college.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
I feel you on that, because when I went to college, like that's when I first started wearing my natural hair, and I first really got into, I felt like myself for real. That's why I felt like in high school, like I was myself with the way I dressed and stuff, but I feel like I really could have just been myself a little more. And when I went into college and got into the natural shit, I was like, this is really me. Yeah, I'm really feeling this. So, and I just been natural ever since.
Yeah. No, you would not catch me with my natural hair like in high school. Like
on me.
I was not big on showing my natural hair. I just didn't think it was beautiful or nothing like this. So
no makeup. I think I wore makeup all through high school. College was the first time I was like, I don't have to wear makeup. Like I could have been late to school about to miss the bus, and I'm still finna put on.
I'm still finna put on.
Yeah. Well,
For sure.
when you're that young, you're still trying to figure out who you are.
Right.
You know, and it's all trial and error. And a lot of ourselves are associated with who we associate ourselves with. And, you know, once you get past the high school part, you do spend a lot of time figuring out what works best for you. So
yeah.
It's just crazy how we look at ourselves. Like, this is the same face. How did once I thought he was ugly without makeup, but now I don't, when it's the same face. Like, you know, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's just about living life, maturing, and just realizing, you know, your beauty. When you are in high school, like you said, you probably compare yourself a lot, you know, just having those insecurities that we deal with as teenagers. So different stuff like that. But okay, cute.
For sure.
So we usually do like hot topics. We just talk about like things that's been going on in the media and stuff like that before we dive into the topic of the actual show.
Please.
I had a couple of random things that I've been thinking about, you know, all week.
Let's go.
So the first thing, I don't want to just pop into the show with this.
Okay.
Yeah, let me mention that section. Okay, so let's just go into like the celebrities. So there's Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, and Young Miami. This is what this is concerning. You know who all three of those people are?
I do.
Okay, so they're, to the public's eye, friends is what we would all assume. Like Cardi and Megan have shown love, and then Young Miami and Megan, they've all shown love to each other to be friends, whatever.
Right.
So just recently, Cardi has been working. Well, Cardi has always worked with Megan's ex, the one who dropped the diss song about her, said some really hurtful things in the song about her.
Right.
And then and then Young Miami is working with DaBaby, who he didn't really say much. He just exposed that they smashed or whatever. During the time that everybody was all on Megan, he hopped on the train like, well, I fucked her too, or whatever. So yeah, both people who did Megan wrong. Do you feel like it's wrong of them to be doing business with those people?
Well, I think that especially in America, scandal sells. And so if there's something to talk about, it kind of keeps your name hot and relevant. And people are going to go listen to these songs and it makes them money regardless. And so since that's what markets these artists, I think that it's almost necessary. They're not in the business of being kumbaya and getting along completely. It's these kind of scandals that make them money. Yeah. And so, even with, I know the Super Bowl, those artists don't get paid for that. Them just being there performing gets them the streams, and that's where their money's coming from.
Oh, okay. So, cut the check.
Yeah. But the attention is what makes them their money. And so if that's the story that people are going to talk about, even watching this, people are going to go listen to the song or go listen to what's going on. And so I think it's necessary in today's day. So,
Okay, I've seen a lot of people like in the comments saying that, oh, you working with like Cardi B, working with her ex and stuff like that. And I'm just gonna like, first of all, we got introduced to Cardi from Cardi. They've always worked together. Yeah, that's probably how Meg got introduced to him. So I don't see it being wrong. Like Meg just has to understand, like, this is who's been working with my career this entire time. With the Young Miami thing, I feel like maybe her and Megan are just not real friends or whatever, because I don't know. Like you said, like, it's just business. Like, she's just working with DaBaby or whatever.
Right. That's what I was saying. It's just business. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, people are taking it too. Like, Megan is not like the all, be all, say all. Like, we don't operate our lives based off who fucks with her and who don't. So they have to still do what they got to do. So I don't know. People just was doing a lot.
I think the people that owe them the most loyalty, we probably don't even know. Right. We don't even see them. We don't even know that they exist.
Yeah.
So people that owe them the most loyalty, they probably are being as loyal as a friend should be. So,
Yeah. And like you said with Young Miami, like, they not like, the relationship with Young Miami and Megan, like, does she really, it's just like they that close? Like,
I don't know about close. They've just been like seen together a couple of times. I think she went on Carisha Please, or maybe I think she.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, what's the big uproar about it? Like,
it's just, I don't get it even, period. Even with Cardi and Megan being so close, like, or at least what they've shown us to be close. I just feel like it's like, why do we have to live our lives based off of everything else other than what we want? Like,
exactly. But it's our job to talk about it. They're these public figures, and it's our job to make comment, and they're going to do what they're going to do, and that's just all there is to it. So,
Yeah, I understand. Okay. There's this one question, and we ain't got to talk too much about it, but it was like, it was regarding porn.
Okay.
So it was just a quick little thought that I thought, like, okay, is watching porn like bad? Of course it's bad in like God's eye or whatever. Right. But is it bad to watch, period? Like, or should we not be watching porn? They say it hurts the mind. And then, in relationships, are we not, like, why are we watching porn? Should we not be watching porn? I just feel like the only thing that I think about when it comes to porn is what kind of porn you watch.
Yeah, I got you.
What are you looking at on this porn site?
Yes.
Tell you a lot about somebody.
That's an eyebrows raised.
I feel, I think that too much of anything is a bad thing. And so, if a person is consuming it to the point that they're missing work or I think that that's more of a concern.
When it's giving addiction.
Yeah. If they're
work for the porn.
I mean, there are people that are. Yeah.
When you're watching on the lunch break, it might be a problem.
At your desk on company computer.
Yeah, that's
definitely a problem.
Maybe at home.
Yeah. I think it's bad when people start to compare themselves to what they see in porn too. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of men in particular, they watch porn and, they see a certain dick size.
Right.
They're thinking that there's something insufficient about them because theirs isn't that size. But there's a woman out there that loves it. Or man,
And this is porn. This is supposed to be on the camera to look.
Yeah. It's entertainment.
So it's going to be a little past normal,
That's why they're, shooting it. That's why they're getting the streams from it. But, some people don't know how to have a healthy relationship with their vices. Right. And so I think that if you can balance what this vice is in your life and what effect it's having on you, it doesn't have to be a bad thing, you know? And so it's just super hard for me to say cut and dry, oh, it's a bad thing or it's a good thing, because I'm sure there's a lot of things that I do that are bad. So, you know.
Is there a certain kind of porn you wouldn't want your partner watching?
You know, I'm definitely that partner that is super, I'm going to offer you an enormous amount of freedom, because I think that when you're offered that amount of freedom and a person chooses you over that freedom, whatever the freedom may be, it's just a little bit more telling about how much you mean to them. And so I'm not too much of that partner that's going to tell you what you can and can't do, who you can and can't associate with, which, you know.
Yeah, well, not the can and can't part, but just like you would think like, hey, why are you watching that?
Well, maybe lesbian porn.
Because you would think that they're not like real.
Yeah.
Like what you watch?
That was my think on it. Like,
I watch gay porn though. And,
that's what I was gonna say.
I like straight men.
I watch lesbian porn, but I don't.
No, I watch gay like men.
Oh yeah, but okay. No, I have just because I'm interested.
I watch bisex. I wouldn't say just men on men, but bisex.
Yeah,
no, but I watch lesbian porn. But I'm not gonna lie. If Darian was watching gay porn, like what's going on?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, what's going on?
I agree.
I think that lesbian porn was just something that I just threw out. You know, to me, for me as a gay man, I think that it's a little boring. You know,
I think that too.
Yeah,
as a straight woman,
you know, I mean, of course, I've seen it, you know, but it doesn't do anything for me. And so if my partner's watching, I'm just like,
what is that? What's going on right now? I've always thought that about lesbians, period. But hey, them lesbians be in love. Okay, they be having some good sex, they say.
Yeah,
I don't know why I'm more into lesbian porn. Like, I watch like man on woman porn too, and that's like it's a little good time, but I don't know, sometimes the men just be doing too much for me.
It gotta be the right video. I'll search for hours.
I feel but you know, I'm really open to, you know, different porn, straight porn, but you know, and I don't think there's anything wrong with this at fucking all, but I do not like watching girls suck dick. I don't know.
You're more like than I think. I always skip the head.
I don't like that.
I always skip the head. Literally, always.
Yeah.
They drag the little bar up a little bit.
I don't know. And I don't think it's wrong. I don't know if there's any logic behind it, but I just don't like to see it.
Me either.
Yeah, you know? I'm not really big on that either.
I skip it every time. It's crazy that I literally skip the head. Let's get to let's skip that. It just, I'm just sitting there watching like,
girl,
too much, too noisy.
Doesn't do it for me.
Too close.
Doesn't do it for me. You know, but
did you mention something about watching porn with your partner?
No, it was just about like is it wrong, I guess, to be in a relationship and watching porn, I guess.
Okay. I don't think it's like that. Like, I don't care if Darren watch porn and vice versa. Like, I watch porn. But like you said, if it gets to a point where we watch it every single day, all the time, you can't wait to watch it. Then
fantasizing.
That's when it's like raises an eyebrow for me.
When it becomes unhealthy. You know, and you know when it does. So.
All right. Well, the other thing that's going on in the media is Cash Doll and, you know, her whole doll arguments, whatever. I only really had...
you gotta be the only doll.
Right. I only had one thing to say about that, because the whole name shit, like, y'all are rappers. These are...
stage names.
Yeah, stage names. Like, these are not your real, so who gives a fuck if there's another doll? Like, you're the only, whatever your real name is. But my take on this whole thing, Cash Doll, she's an exception because her name is Cash Doll.
Right.
But Asian Doll, Cuban Doll, all them other dolls, I feel like...
Dream Doll.
Dream Doll, she is an exception because it's just Dream. Asian Doll and Cuban Doll, though I like them, I feel like their names are racist as fuck. Like... imagine an Asian rapper naming herself Black Doll.
Black Doll.
Like, we would be looking at her like, the fuck,
yeah. Well, you know, I don't know a whole lot about those other dolls. I only know about Cash Doll.
Period.
I've heard those names before, but I think that a lot of times people kind of fetishize looking another race or looking like this or looking like that, and they're already superficial, shallow people, and so it's just like, I'm going to call myself this so that I present this image that they only see themselves as.
And Asian Doll is the same color as you.
Yeah, my mom always took me for a
literally, she is a dark skin, big lips, like black.
I got you.
She's a beautiful black woman, actually.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, there could be a meaning behind her name that I just don't know anything about.
I think the way she's swagged, I think she always been into like the Tokyo kind of swag, like the boots and the skirts.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say what is it? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, the chopsticks?
Yeah. We were trying.
Yeah, I saw it.
What is that? Yes, those. Yeah. She put those on her head. So I think off of her swag, she named it. But I'm just saying, though, we don't see it as a problem. We call her Asian. If we would have seen it as a problem, though, if somebody else said the way around, like,
I feel, but you know, I think that for a lot of musicians or even their fans, you know, they're embodying something. You know, a lot of people will say that Beyonce's overrated, or they'll say that Taylor Swift is overrated. But the truth of the matter is, when their fans listen to their music, for a brief moment, they're Beyonce. Mm-hmm. For a brief moment, they're Taylor Swift.
I know, and you know, listen.
That's what gives their fans a sense of something that brings them out of their boring life. You know, it empowers them and makes them feel like a superstar. And so I'd imagine it's the same for these artists. You know, whatever their fantasy is now or was when they were younger or before they were famous, you know, it just helps them embody this entity that they've always wanted to be, or they see themselves like. So
okay.
Deep. You opened a whole new look up.
You know, that's just what I see, and what I think when I see these artists. You know, it's hard for me to call anybody overrated, because if somebody likes them, they like them.
Yeah, right.
And a lot of the artists that I listen to, nobody's ever heard of them. You know, Spotify, SoundCloud. You know, these are just people that make music and stuff like that, and I just listen to it, and it's not that I feel like I'm these people, but you know, it's making me think about what I want to think about or imagine what I want to imagine. So they're good enough for me.
Music is supposed to be for you.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Personal relationship.
Period.
So.
Alrighty, y'all. So for today's topic, we wanted to talk about astrology, because we have an astrologist or astrology connoisseur, however you want to say it.
Whatever.
In the building. So we're gonna hop right into it. So, first of all, what sparked your interest of astrology, or what made you so in tune with astrology?
Well, I was always a little old man in one way or another. And so I always watched the news. I always read the newspaper. And there was always like a section in the newspaper about astrology.
Oh, yeah, it is.
And when I was a kid, you know, I would always read about the Pisces, and, you know, it would give like a horoscope. And you know, when you're a kid, you know, you're doing what you're told to do. And so a lot of times your horoscope doesn't necessarily fulfill, you know, what it is, because you're not independently living a life that, you know. But, you know, a lot of the traits and attributes that I would read, you know, some of them would, you know, touch on, but it wasn't really hitting. So I remember closer to the time that I turned 21, you know, I was on Instagram and I was just saving all these posts about being a Pisces. And, you know, they were starting to hit a lot more. And, you know, somebody said it was because the older you get, the more you step into your personality.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I'm reading through them, and I'm seeing stuff about like the moon sign and the rising sign. And I had never heard about stuff like that. And so my friend Zay, he sends me this birth chart calculator. And so I'm reading through it, and it's breaking down my chart as more than a Pisces, and it's really connecting to who I've seen myself to be, you know? And so when I did that for myself, I automatically just thought, let me do this for my friends. And so I'm looking at all of their birth charts and all of that, and it was really hitting. And so it just kind of went from there, and it just snowballed into, you know, what it is now. But it just was a slow build up. But, you know, I just always kind of took what I was reading and compared it to somebody that I knew that had the same placement. You know, you know.
So we thought it was only fitting that you give us a little rundown. I know you gave me mine before, but we're going to run it back.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Let's do it.
So,
I got you.
I'm a Libra, y'all, period.
I got you.
I'm an Aquarius.
Gotcha. I'm a Pisces.
Birthday just passed.
Yes.
Love
just
it.
had a birthday.
Love it.
Pisces. My mom is a Pisces.
She's the realest. She's the realest. So, in astrology, you know, you're not just what your sun sign is, the Libra, the Aquarius, the Pisces. You're much more than that. All of the zodiac signs carry an energy. All the planets in the sky carry an energy. Whenever these planets move through those constellations, through those zodiac signs, they operate from the energy of that zodiac sign. So you're not just a Libra. You have a moon sign. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but I think it's Virgo.
I think that's what you said. I can't remember that.
We're going to go look up your entire chart, but you're not just an Aquarius.
Okay.
A lot of times when amateurs are describing astrology, they're speaking based off of an ex they had. Oh, I hate Pisces because, I hate Libras because, but, there's so much more to that person that makes them different from this Libra or this Aquarius. So the zodiac begins with Aries. I know a lot of people thinks that it's Capricorn because that's the first sign of the year, but it begins with Aries. So the first day of Aries is the first day of spring. Every zodiac sign kind of like begins a modality. And so the first day of Aries is the first day of spring. The first day of Cancer is the first day of summer. First day of Capricorn is the first day of winter. First day of Libra is the first day of fall.
Okay.
So there's zodiac signs in between those two. So the first day of Scorpio is the middle of the fall. It represents like the fix of the fall. The first day of Cancer of Leo is the fix of the summer. The first day of Taurus is the fix of the spring, and the first day of Aquarius is the fix of the winter. And so that's when it's the most winter, when it's the most fall, when it's the most summer, so on and so forth. Yeah. So there's a difference between like horoscope astrology not necessarily horoscope astrology, but like this descriptive astrology and transit astrology. Transit astrology will tell you what's going on at any point in time in the sky. The horoscope descriptive astrology will kind of tell you who you are as a person. But when a baby is born, their birth chart becomes all the planets that are in the sky. That's why twins act so much alike. That's why people that are born around the exact same day as us will be a lot like us. So right now the sun is in Aquarius. Aquarius is the energy that represents the rebel, the unpredictable, the different one, the stubborn one.
Tell me about it.
Okay, we all have a little stuff.
Exactly. Aquarius energy is also very innovative. It's also very challenging. It's that zodiac sign that can really look for the deeper why behind things. That's a conspiracy
Not the
theory.
why, because I always want to know why.
Yeah.
I always want to know why.
Exactly. And that's not to say that every Aquarius is going to be that person, but the energy that is Aquarius is that, And so let's say you have Aquarius on the sun. It can be different than having Aquarius on the moon. Let's say you have it on the rising. It could be different than all of that. Yeah. And so looking at your birth chart and looking at all these placements together can tell you who you are as a person.
That's what makes different Aquariuses different. Because you're like, I'm not like them, but they're Aquarius too.
Yeah. Exactly. Or you get on Facebook and you see somebody say, oh, I hate Aquarius. But then somebody comments and they're like, no, you don't. You know me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll be like, you hate the men Aquarius, not the women.
Exactly. And it's not even as general as that, but there are differences between being a male this and a female that.
Because I hear that too. Oh, I hate or I don't like men Libras or whatever. Yeah.
And a lot of times I feel like they say that because of who they date. So you have to look at the entire birth chart. But to get a very accurate reading of your birth chart, you have to have the time that you're born. Because
I remember seeing it.
All the planets, they change at different times. They all change at different speeds. They all change at different points in the day. They don't always change in the year. Pluto just went into Aquarius for the first time in 250 years.
Oh, what does that mean?
So Pluto is a generational planet. It doesn't so much affect a person, more so a generation. So the last time that Pluto is or was where it is now was when the United States became a country.
Wow.
Yeah. And so very obviously the United States is going through a lot of changes.
I was going to say, changes, that's crazy.
Exactly.
Wow. Look at the universe being alive.
Exactly. Okay. And so you have to look at the energy that is Pluto. Pluto is the planet of power and obsession, is corruption, is hierarchies, is authority figures, is things like that. You have to look at the energy that is Aquarius. It's the rebel. It's what's unpredictable. It's the far-reaching thoughts, the far-reaching questions,
That's crazy.
The last time that Pluto was here and the United States became a country, we were founded on the principles of freedom.
Yeah.
Aquarius is the sign of freedom, I've
always been told that.
Around that same time, I want to say that several monarchies fell across Europe. Aquarius represents the people, and a lot of people, they rebelled against the systems that were already in place. And so that's how you kind of like take those things and, work those.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like, it's crazy how everything is in line.
And it's the fact that it's just so me. But even if we haven't got my full chart, like date of birth. I mean, like time of birth and all that. Mm-hmm. What you just said is like a surface level of me. Like I always want to know why. Yes. I'm always asking questions like deeper meaning. What is it like? And I'm always I would say rebel now. As a kid, I was kind of like too scared to rebel. But when I say rebel now, I meant like against like the normal. Like I'm always doing something different. Right. Like, you know, so.
Yeah. I feel that. And it's such a general part of your chart. And that's what the sun normally is. Just a generalization of you. You know, your moon is who you are at heart. It's an emotional you, you know.
My moon is.
Yeah. And that might be easier to determine without the time that you're born, but it's still better to know exactly what time that you're born. The one thing that is the most dependent upon the time that you're born is your ascendant. It's the front cover that you portray to other people. Oh. It's your first impression.
I feel seen.
Wow.
Exactly. For a lot of people, if they could choose their zodiac sign, very unknowingly would they probably choose their ascendant. You know, because it's the persona that you put off.
Yeah.
You know. Wow.
Do you know if you were born in the day or night?
5:35 p.m.
Oh, you know. So have you run your birth chart?
Well, I haven't. I had that app before, but I deleted it.
I got
you. What is that app? Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Is it CoStar?
Yeah. I don't have it no more, but I'm gonna look it up anyway because.
Well, that's beginner astrology to me. You know, if I were to recommend anything, I would say go to astroseek.com. Astro-seek.com.
Let's do it.
So do these? Is this an app?
Well, they don't have an app for it yet.
Oh, okay.
But the website has so many tools. I just love it. Oh, okay. I do. You can go look at all the current planets. You can go look at different aspects between you and other people. Hit horoscopes at the top.
So it kind of helps you learn more about yourself.
Right.
And everything. Okay.
Now, well, I don't know if it's the best for a person that doesn't know anything about astrology.
Oh, okay.
But I just like it because it gives me the tools that I need.
That you need.
Yeah, well, I can pull it up and then
we can go from there. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
I'm glad you know exactly what time you're born.
Mm-hmm. Do.
It's funny because I was talking to my mom the day before yesterday, and I was telling her, you know, a lot of people's moms don't know what time they were born. And she's like, who doesn't know what time they pushed the baby out? And I'm like, a lot of people.
A lot of people don't know.
A lot of people
I know what time I pushed my baby out.
I love it. And you should.
Definitely his weight and everything.
I think I told you I was born at 2:15 or 2:35 p.m. Like
you might as well go ahead and pull yours back up too. I mean, why not? Why not?
My birth city was Little Rock. My baby was born at 11 o'clock in the morning on a Monday morning after a whole night of rain, storming.
Mm-hmm. What's the website?
Astro-seek.com.
I'm missing my coordinates.
So go ahead and hit the back button for me.
Okay.
And type in the city and state one more time. Or make sure all the details are there, but make sure the city and state is pulled up.
Astro-chart?
Seek.
Oh, Seek.
I feel so nerdy right now. I feel so nerdy.
I see. You said horoscopes.
Yes.
Well, I put Little Rock.
Well, here, before you just go ahead and continue, let's let it populate so go ahead.
Oh, okay. See, it didn't do that for me.
There we go.
Okay.
And so you have the time, you have the city, you have the state. Now we're going to calculate chart. And so what we're going to do is we're going to scroll to the bottom. You won't know what you're looking at, but I got you.
Okay. That was a lot.
So this is your birth chart.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Let's let Denisha get hers pulled up.
Okay.
And then we'll get into it.
Okay.
We'll get into it.
I'll say...
Wow, that's a lot.
It is. It is. But that's why it's hard to say that all Aquarius, Libras, or Pisces are one way.
Yeah.
You know?
We do calculate chart?
Yes.
Let it, okay, yeah.
You got it. Okay. So go ahead, scroll.
I wonder how my brothers like how I am. I always ask them questions and stuff.
Who?
My brothers. I got 3 Aquarius brothers.
Mm. Do you feel like y'all are different?
Very much so. They're men too. I feel like they're terrible people actually. Sorry.
Well,
like in relationships, you know, I don't, you know.
I got you. Beautiful.
Okay.
All right. So I like to start with the ascendant because a lot of times that ascendant can really have an effect on other parts of your chart. So you're a Leo ascendant, also known as a Leo rising. And what's interesting about that, Leo is the sign that balances out Aquarius. It's the opposite sign, also known as the sister sign.
Okay.
You know? And so for you to be an Aquarius with a Leo rising, there may be a lot of you that is, a lot of Aquarius about you that is very hidden and overshadowed by that Leo. if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So, of course, you're not going to fit all the characteristics of all of these placements. But again, you look at what the planet or angle is, and you want to look at the energy of that zodiac sign. So the energy that is Leo is this bold, dramatic, characteristic energy. You know, Leo is often described as a main character. You know, it's seen as this pretentious, all about me zodiac sign, but not necessarily in a negative way. You know, exactly. Yeah. It's a fire sign. And so you're going to feel the energy of Leo, you know. As a Leo rising, in a lot of situations, you might be somebody that people naturally just see. They can't help but notice you when you come into a room. You might be somebody that is very prideful in one way or another. Your ego is important to you, but those don't have to be negative terms. Yeah. You're someone who takes pride in what matters to you. When it comes to your child, that's something you may be extremely protective of.
Yes. What the fuck? Were you a psychic or something?
Which most people are. Which most people are. But you know,
I protect my baby for sure.
As you should. As you should. You know, they say that Leos have an obsession with their hair, their mane, in one way or another, and your hair is definitely taken care of. You know, it's something that you're connected to. You know, and so with that being your rising sign, you're going to take on a lot of the characteristics of that. Yeah. Now, this says you're a Capricorn moon. You're a Capricorn rising. I'm a Capricorn rising too. Okay. But you're a Capricorn moon.
That's my OD. That's what I am.
So that's who you are at heart. Okay. So they say that the moon in Capricorn is not always the best exaltation of the moon, because Capricorn is not always the most sensitive zodiac sign.
No, they're not. Capricorn, I know.
Yeah. You know, and it doesn't mean that they don't have feelings, that they don't cry, that they don't feel anything at all. But Capricorn is not going to let those feelings necessarily interfere with their objective, whatever their goal might be. And so they say to have Capricorn on the moon, you're a person that has to schedule time to deal with your emotions. You have to allocate time for that, because you know what you have to do. You know?
Me cry at 5 p.m.
Exactly. But, you know, Capricorn is a sign that moves with a sense of safety and reliability. And so you're somebody who may not be emotional to its peak unless you feel safe doing so. Right. Or you feel like it's worth it, or a worthwhile investment to be sensitive or vulnerable with another. Yeah. And so now at heart, you're somebody who may need a heightened level of security. You may need to feel like you have all the resources that you need, or you're not going to associate yourself with something.
Okay.
You know?
I feel like with the Leo, I feel like everything was right. I feel like the ego thing, I feel like I don't have an ego. I feel like pride, I may have, like, as far as like if I have a point that I want to get across, or if I'm right about something, I may not ever let that go. Exactly. But I feel like it has nothing to do with like an ego of mine. I don't feel like I'm
it's not associated with your ego.
Kind of person. That place. Yeah, but I definitely have pride. Like no, I mean what I say. I feel this way, and you're gonna feel what I feel.
You're gonna die behind it.
Yeah, but. Yeah, it's never based in like an ego of it.
Yeah, no. Superficial, surface level.
Right. No, I hate superficial stuff. Seriously, like it has to be authentic, and I feel like I'm very that way, which is probably why I'm always going so hard about how I feel.
As you should.
And the Capricorn thing, I feel like I run away from my feelings more so than dealing with them, because I don't want them to I know they can overpower me. Right. So let's say I'm sad about something. I'm not gonna listen to a song that may talks about what I'm feeling like. Because all it's going to do is heighten my emotions and make me feel, So I actually will avoid thinking about it and dealing with those feelings.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. And, you know, as far as the rising go, it's normally just presentation. And so even if you're not all of those Leo things, that may be what is presented to other people subconsciously. You know, other people may think that when they see you or look at you. You know, as far as the moon goes, they do say that that's who you really are on the inside, and it sounds like that's who you are. And so, going to your chart, you are a Virgo moon, right?
I don't know.
Let's see.
I just put 208. I'm not sure.
Yes. So okay. Well, it's going to make a difference for you, especially because that's a very small degree of Virgo. And so if you were born any earlier, maybe an hour earlier, 2 hours earlier.
I know it's for sure between 208 and like 235.
Okay. Well, then you're probably a Virgo moon for sure. You know, but, that's why that time of birth really does matter, because the moon can change at 5:35 p.m. Yeah, right. 5:34, you're something completely different. You know, and so it's super important to look at that birth certificate. But I know that a lot of Arkansas birth certificates won't have it written on there, and so I think after a certain date they will, but before it won't. you know?
Yeah.
I can see you being a Virgo though. Has to be, you know.
And so as a Virgo moon, you're a person that may find emotional comfort in details. You're someone who may see things on a very minuscule level. You might have been born with a magnifying glass in your head. You know, there's a little bit of a perfectionist in there. And it doesn't mean that you're always perfect, but you might crave it. You might need it. You know, a little OCD, a little control freakish, you know. That's what they say. That's what they say. You know. But your moon is where you find emotional comfort. And so as a Capricorn moon, you know, the emotional comfort might not be what it needs to be, but as a Virgo moon, you find that emotional comfort in the details, in things that are super meticulous. Yeah. If that makes any sense. So now you're a Capricorn rising, and I don't want to do too much that has my placements in it because I don't really want to talk about my own. But we both have Capricorn risings. Okay. So the ascendant, like I said, is just presentation. As a Capricorn rising, you may give off a sense of capable. People may look at you and think that whatever it is that you're trying to do, you're the woman for the job. You have a sense of old soul to you. There's something about you that people take serious from time to time. Capricorns are often seen as parents, very paternal figures. And so people could see you in one way or another as a capable parent. Okay. If that makes any sense. You know, a lot of Capricorn risings do go on to, you know, create a legacy and have children and things like that. And they tend to make good parents. You know, I'm not saying Capricorns, but Capricorn risings. Yeah. You know, and so I take a lot of pride in that zodiac sign. I do. Okay. If I could pick my kid's sign, I would pick a Capricorn. Okay, I would. I would pick that. And I love Capricorn women because a lot of times they're men. You know,
I do know a Capricorn. I mean, I don't know if it's his moon. I've always known the basis, and I do know a Capricorn, and he wasn't the most emotional person. Very not gonna say much. Even if I'm in my feelings, I'm not saying anything. But he was a good person. So
very bag-oriented people. You know, and it doesn't mean that all Capricorns have money. But the archetype that is Capricorn is the archetype of security and finances and things like that. And so that's a great placement to have, especially on a girl. Okay. You know, it just makes a woman a little bit more self-reliant. You'll meet a lot of Capricorn women who could do it on their own, you know, and a lot of women can, you know, but that Capricorn placement can definitely make a woman a lot more immune to the weakness of sensitivity, you know? And so, and I know a lot of sensitive Capricorns, but they're going to be sensitive at work. They're going to be sensitive while they're getting some money. You know? And so,
okay, well, didn't you say when you was going through something, you still went to work? Like, you may have had a breakdown, but I'm a white these kids and still go to work.
I'm going to do my lunch. It's one thing, I'm going to be at work. People know that. Like, I don't miss the work.
Yeah. And, you know, some people...
sorry. No, I was going to say, if I'm having like a breakdown, like at work, I literally will clock the fuck out and go home. Like, I'm out. It's been a while since I've had one, but
you know, and there's a lot of people that, you know, when there's things going on in their life, they know to prioritize their emotions for them. You know, they figured themselves out, but you know that clocking out won't help you. Right. And so you're going to stay there and you're going to get your bag. You know, pull those charts back up, please. So, Mercury, you can have any moon sign. You can have any Mars, any Jupiter, any Venus. Well, you can't have any Venus, but you can have any rising, Uranus, Saturn, you know, but you can't have any Mercury and you cannot have any Venus. Venus is only limited to your sign, the two after you, or the two before you. Mercury is only limited to being your sign, the one after you, or the one before you. So there are some Aquarius that have Aquarius Mercuries, some with Capricorn and some with Pisces. There are some Libras with Libra Mercuries, some with Scorpio and some with Virgos. Okay. But you will never meet a Libra with an Aries Mercury, ever. It will not happen. It's just too far away. Oh, okay. You will never meet an Aquarius with a Libra Mercury. It's impossible. So Mercury is the way that you process information. It's the way that you get your thoughts out. It's the way that you also get your thoughts in. Okay. It's the communication planet. What's your Mercury? Right. Why do I just expect you to just know?
I don't know.
So your Mercury's in Virgo, and it's at the end of it. It was almost Libra, and yours is in Capricorn. And you're closer to the end, but you had a couple of days in there. So the both of you are Earth Mercury signs. Virgo and Capricorn are both Earth. Earth signs kind of have a routine to their energy. That doesn't mean that all Earth signs are routine people, that they're all organized people, but there's a process the way that Earth signs do things. For Earth Mercuries, there's a way that you've always processed things. There's a way that you process any scenario, any given conversation. There's a way that you process the way that you go about conversations. As a Virgo Mercury, you're going to pay very close attention to the details of the conversation. You're someone who's going to hear every syllable, every word, every pause, every this, every that. You're an incredible listener. Really good for a journalist, really good for a therapist, really good for any person that needs to be listening. You're a Capricorn Mercury. They say that Capricorn and Taurus are a little bit more closed-minded than Virgo is, but I'm not saying I agree with that, because you're an Aquarius, and Aquarius are far-reaching in their thoughts.
Yeah.
But as a Capricorn Mercury, you're a person that if A plus B equals C, why the fuck are we talking about D?
Exactly.
Capricorn Mercury, you know, if it didn't make sense before, why are we trying to make sense out of this now?
Yeah.
Now that Aquarius plays a different role with that, because like we said, you know, you're somebody who thinks a little further than most.
Yeah.
But as a Capricorn Mercury, you're someone who has a routine to the way that you're listening to a person, a way that you're processing this conversation. You're someone who doesn't need unnecessary small talk. You don't need unnecessary
small talk.
Yeah.
God, stop reading me like this. I've always said that shit. I hate small. What are we talking about? Let's get to it.
Exactly. You know, and Capricorns Capricorn energy is objective oriented. And so, like you just said, let's get to the point. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm an Aries Mercury. Okay. Mercury and Aries can be a bit of a problem, you know, and I can admit that growing up, my mom always said that it was a mouth. All our moms say that, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But Mercury and Aries can be a huge problem. Hitler was an Aries Mercury. You know? And so
that's a comparison.
These are people that just kind of spew words out. Sexy Red is an Aries Mercury. She's an Aries, but she's also an Aries Mercury. And so these are people that just kind of like just spew things out their mouth. You know, they say what came to their brain.
You can do that. I could say you know.
I think I've gotten better with age. You know, but these are people that, you know, don't really take the time to process it like they should before it comes out their mouth, you know? And so that's just the difference there with those different things, but it's a fire Mercury versus Earth.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
Okay.
So let's go to Venus. We need to learn these placements. This is y'all's charts. So your Venus is in Virgo, and your Venus is in Aquarius. So I'm an Aquarius Venus, and my mom's a Virgo Venus.
Okay.
So Venus is love and pleasure.
Yeah, it's in there.
I do this. Venus is love and pleasure. It's the way that we give love and the way that we receive love. They say that it's how we look at our friendships. Okay. They say that it's how we look at money. It's the way that we have fun. You know, it's Venus is a benefic planet. It's a good one in astrology. So as a Virgo Venus, you're huge on respect. You're a thoughtful person. But if you don't feel respected, there is no relationship there at all.
Yeah.
They say a lot of Virgo Venuses are prudes. I'm sorry. My mom's a Virgo Venus, and I think she's a prude. You know?
Hey.
You know. And I think that Virgo Venus men are a little bit more explorative in sexual matters than a Virgo Venus woman. Yeah. But with the right person, you will be.
Yeah.
Now, you're an Aquarius Venus. So am I. You're attracted to unpredictable, out-of-the-box relationships. Mm-hmm. You're someone who might be in a relationship that only makes sense to you.
Okay.
You know?
That's the only person.
Definitely.
You're a person that also values some element, some degree of freedom in your relationships. And you're also happy to offer that to the next person. You know? You're someone who may find yourself in an age-gapped relationship. You might talk to somebody that's older than you. A lot of Aquarius Venuses do date people that are either a lot younger or a lot older, you know? And so I do feel like in my life, most of my relationships have been with people that are much older than me, you know?
I had one.
Yeah.
But I mean, the current one is only 2 years older, but I had...
Right. You know? But famous Aquarius Venuses would include, for better or worse, R. Kelly. I know.
He go younger.
He do.
The way he love,
Dr. Seuss, and I don't know if y'all know a lot about Dr. Seuss's love life or anything like that, but
just the books.
But he was notoriously unfaithful, you know.
Oh, wow.
When his wife was dying of cancer, he was still out here hoeing.
Okay.
You know? And then,
Seuss?
and then when she died, he ended up marrying the hoe. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Hey, sometimes the hoe becomes the wife.
Yeah.
It happens that way sometimes. Or the side chick, you know, move on up.
But the same way you got them, same way
you gonna lose them. True.
You know.
I believe in that.
I could believe in that too.
And so you do find a lot of very weird, interesting people with Aquarius, you know, that are in very weird relationships with that placement, you know. And so
been a couple weird relationships.
Yeah. You know, but it may only make sense to you. Yeah. And you know, a lot of people that are on the spectrum of sexualities, they tend to have Venus and Aquarius as well. You know.
So you're saying I'm confused about my sexuality, maybe?
You might be. You might be. But more than anything, you find yourself in relationships that require enormous understanding. You know? It has to be like a firm understanding between the two of you.
Yeah. I won't let it go until you understand me. So I feel like you understand me until I understand you. You may think I'm asking questions just to like be annoying, but I'm really trying to understand what the fuck you're saying. Yeah. You know, like
exactly. There's a lot of communication that goes on in the relationship of a person with an air Venus sign. And so like communication is extremely important to anybody, you know, but for an air Venus, there's almost a heightened level of pleasure that comes from talking about things, you know?
Wow.
Now, Virgo is a mutable sign. And so mutable signs are communicators in and of themselves. And so there is a lot of communication that is required in your relationships too, but it's an earth sign. And so there is a traditional aspect to it. You might end up in a relationship that looks more cookie cutter than the next person. Your relationship might be more, we're going to get married, we're going to start a family, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, because it's an earth Venus sign, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Mars, let's see.
What is that, Libra? My Mars is in Libra.
Yes, your Mars is in Libra. Mars, right. So it was Leo.
Yes.
All right. So Mars, you can have any Mars sign. You know, Mars does a bunch of really weird things. It's considered the lesser malefic, and so it's considered a bad planet in one way or another because it's the planet of sex and aggression. So in traditional astrology, I mean,
can be.
In traditional astrology, you know, Mars is ruled by the zodiac signs Scorpio and Aries because of the sex and aggression aspects of it. But it represents the aggressive side of us, the drunk side of us, the energy that we put into sex. But it's also like the fire in our step, you know, it's the underlying energy that kind of like fuels us and like pushes us and motivates us, you know, but it's the most assertive side of yourself. So a lot of people will say that Mars is the true you because it's the pissed off you.
Yeah.
But it's such an underlying energy, you know, that it can almost be hard to identify, but still very visible and present.
Yeah.
So Leo Mars, I love this placement. I love Leo energy. I really, really do. I call this the Beyonce placement. Beyonce is a Leo Mars.
Okay.
And so Mars, yeah. You know, they say that Mars can be the way we interact with groups. And to have a Leo Mars, you could stand out in a group. You know, you could easily be a centerpiece. You know, you could be the Beyonce of something. You know, as a Leo Mars, an upset and assertive you can be dramatic. It can be passionate. It can be something that reverts back to self. Not that you're a self-centered person, but some astrologers would say that a Leo Mars, when they're pissed off, can be a little self-centered. You know, I remember I was dating this Leo Mars, and you know, Mars is also the drunk you. And whenever he would get drunk, he definitely thought that he was the center of attention.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I mean, it wasn't distasteful at all. You know, it was nice to look at. You know? But you know, that Leo Mars, you're definitely a standout in one way or another.
Okay.
So you're a Libra Mars. Libra is often described as a go with the flow, submissive zodiac sign. You know, a sign that can kind of feel out the environment and modify and adjust to that. You know, they say that Libras are peacekeepers, but it's only because Libra energy is extremely cultured. And Libra energy can really pick up on the vibes of any group, any culture, anything like that.
Read the room.
And so in a group setting, you definitely can read the room. You definitely can pick up on what role it is that you might need to be playing. You know, how can you keep the peace? To have Mars in Libra is to have Mars in detriment because Mars does not like Libra. And so to have that placement, you might be somebody who puts up with things too often. You know, you might be somebody who kind of goes with the flow when you should not. You know, Libra is often described as like a submissive energy. And so considering that it's sex and aggression in the bedroom, you might enjoy a submissive role. You might enjoy being the pleasure giver. You might enjoy being able to want to do that.
Yeah.
And so, you know, the future queen of the United Kingdom, Kate Middleton, she's an Aquarius Venus with a Libra Mars. And Venus and Mars are our love and sex placements. And so who she is in a relationship may be very similar to who you are in a relationship, you know. And interestingly enough, she's also a Leo rising. Let me find out.
Okay, who is this?
Let me find out. Kate Middleton.
Kate Middleton.
Yes. She was the one that, you know, announced her cancer diagnosis last spring.
Oh.
Yeah. And so very loved, very respected, you know, a Capricorn woman, big boss, you know, but in her relationship, she's a slut.
Yeah.
I'm not assuming.
For a man?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm not making any assumptions.
Gotta be the slut for the guy.
I'm not making any assumptions, but, you know, who don't like that?
Who don't?
You know.
Okay, I'm gonna have to study a little bit more on her.
You know, you should. Very respected.
She's pretty.
Very, very respected. But the further we go down, the longer these zodiac signs stay in a zodiac sign. So the sun stays in its sign for 30 days. For 30 days, it's Aquarius season, then it'll be Pisces season, then it'll be Aries season. The moon, Venus, they all go in the exact same order: Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, so on and so forth. But those planets, they tend to change at different speeds. So the moon going in that same order will change every 2.5 days. Mercury will change every 3 weeks. And if there's a Mercury retrograde, it could take longer. Venus is about 3 to 6 weeks. If there's a Venus retrograde, it could take longer. Mars, it'll stay in a sign for about 6 weeks too. But if there's a Mars retrograde, it can stay in a sign for up to like 8 months. You know, Pluto stays in a sign about 15 to 20 years. So Pluto entered Capricorn back in 2008, and it just entered Aquarius for the first time. And so throughout our lifetimes, we've only seen Pluto change twice. Because when we were born, Pluto was in Sagittarius.
Wow.
Yeah. So some planets just don't change that often. But the further you go away, the more generational these planets become. And they describe a generation more than they describe a person. If that makes any sense.
Yes.
So the last...
They keep moving in and out.
Right. The last kind of personal planet is Jupiter. And so Jupiter is our faith. It's the way that we grow. It's the way that we pray. It's the way that we expand in one way or another. Some astrologers say that it's the way that we look at our humanness. It's the way that we look at our purpose for being alive and what it takes for us to find purpose in life. You know, it's the greater benefic. And so it's an incredible planet. You know, Venus is the lesser benefic. Jupiter is the greater benefic. So Jupiter tends to stay in a sign for about a year. In the 90s, Jupiter did a good job of staying in a zodiac sign primarily throughout that entire year. In the 2000s, it started to kind of catch retrogrades that would break it up throughout the year. And, you know, you'd have some people born in the year 2001 that have a Gemini Jupiter and some that have a Cancer Jupiter. But in 1997, most of the year, except for like early January, Jupiter was in Aquarius. For 1996, for the majority of that year, Jupiter was in Capricorn. And for 1998, Jupiter was mostly in Pisces. So
98?
Yes.
You was born in 98?
I was.
Why did I know this? I mean, I knew.
Skip a grade or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
I did. In middle school.
I knew something, but I didn't know 98. I felt like you weren't as old as everyone, but I didn't know a whole year.
Yeah. March 98.
Wow.
I know.
Crazy. All right, look at you. You ain't pushing 30 yet. We is.
Well, I feel it. It's gonna be here. You know, it's gonna be here. But, you know, because Jupiter tends to stay in a sign for about a year, it can differentiate us from the people that are older than us. You know, there's something about 96 babies that's uniquely similar. You know, something about 97 babies that's uniquely similar, and the same with 98 babies. And so I would like to describe that, but it doesn't feel as personal. It doesn't feel as, oh yeah, this is me, as the stuff that I read before that, because it tends to stay in a sign for a little bit longer. And so people with their Jupiter sign in Capricorn, a lot of times these are people that just go to church. That doesn't necessarily mean that everybody born in 1996 just goes to church, but Capricorn is an earth sign, and so earth signs go with some sense of familiarity. These are people that don't always step too far outside of the box from what they've always known. If they had a parent that said, yes, go be yourself, go believe in what you want, whatever, they may be more willing to do that. But to have an Earth Jupiter sign, you're somebody that just goes with what you know. You connect to your faith in a way that makes sense to you, what's the most familiar to you. You might not stray too far away from the teachings that you were brought up on, if that makes any sense. Now, Jupiter in Aquarius. Remember, Aquarius is that sign of unpredictable, of different, stuff like that. As an Aquarius Jupiter, you're more likely to step a little bit away from what you've always known. You may be a little bit more likely to explore other cultures, other religions, other mediums of growing yourself as a person. Considering Jupiter is how we grow as people, you will grow when you are responsible, practical, steadfast, reliable, the parent, the paternal figure. You will grow when you are different, when you do think outside of the box, when you do think beyond what you've always known. And so in 98, this doesn't mean that all people born in 98 are this way, but, Jupiter was in Pisces, and Jupiter is at home in Pisces. And so to have a Jupiter in Pisces, we're supposed to let people be who they are. We're supposed to understand them from their perspective. We'll grow and we find understanding when there is a sense of charitability in our personality. When we do kind of explore the deeper emotional realms of not only ourselves, but other people. And so, yeah.
That's a lot.
It is.
It's so crazy. I feel like but you're explaining it so well. Like I'm understanding it very well.
Yeah. I see myself in like everything that you said.
Yeah. And it makes sense when you're saying like these planets are in these certain like the years that they're in it and grouping the years of, and it just makes sense. Right. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like it's hard, like you were saying, to try to communicate with others how you're feeling or what your thought process is, because they don't understand. Yes. But like everything that you said is like, yes, like that's me, that's me. And I just try to zoom that out. Yeah, for other folks to understand where I'm coming from. And it's like, it's hard for me to do that.
Reference this episode next time. Just send them. Just be like, hold on. Just send them this part. Be like,
yeah.
But it's not meant for everybody to understand you.
Yeah.
The people that are supposed to will, and those are people that you're supposed to keep close to you. We do feel the most secure with people that just get us, and you don't want everybody to know who you are, how you operate, Some people take advantage of knowing that part of you. And so,
I like that you said that because I feel like the guy that I have in my life right now, I feel like he understands me on a different level than most guys that I've dealt with. And I felt like me being myself is okay to him. So I'm like, what you just said, people who are supposed to understand you will understand you. Because, I'm misunderstood quite a lot. Yes. I'm not going to lie.
Yes.
A lot of people misunderstand me. I do feel very misunderstood. I feel like how I'm trying to be is not how I'm perceived to be. Sometimes I feel like that's really not what I'm trying to say. Yes. Or maybe I'm not trying to say it like that or something like that. Yeah. But I feel like with him, he's just like I understand. Like, I don't have to explain what I meant kind of thing. I can be myself and he's just like, he's just being you, whatever. Very accepting.
That's how it should be. It makes it, there's more value to that. There's more value to have the people that just get it.
Right.
And not that you shouldn't try to empathize with another person or see where they're coming from, but it's safer to just say, I don't get this person, but I respect them for where they are, how they are,
Yes.
And I'll let them be them as long as it doesn't negatively affect me, the other person. Let people live how they are, who they are, where they are. Now, a generational planet that I do want to talk about before we wrap up any astrology stuff. I want to talk about Pluto because Pluto is a very transformational planet. It's not a planet in astronomy technically, but in traditional astrology, it is recognized as a planet. And so it does speak to a lot of what's going on within a generation and whatnot. So Pluto just entered Aquarius, and these planets retrograde. And y'all have heard the word before, retrograde.
Actually.
A retrograde is when a planet just moves backwards. And so every planet moves across from 0 to 2959 degrees. Once it goes before 0, it's in the previous zodiac sign. There is no 30. Once it gets to 30, it's in the next zodiac sign. So if a planet retrogrades out of that zodiac sign for any reason whatsoever, what that planet is responsible for may be kind of out of whack, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So Pluto first entered Aquarius in March of 2023. It has since retrograded back into Capricorn, but now it's back in Aquarius where it will stay for the next 20 years. So Aquarius, like we talked about earlier, is this innovative zodiac sign. It's this unconventional, different zodiac sign. A lot of what is associated with Aquarius is technology. So since about March of 2023, there's been this big AI boom.
Yeah.
And so all around you, it just feels like AI.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, AI's been around, it shows up in our algorithms. It shows up in our music suggestions. It shows up in our Face ID, AI's been there, but it's just been like a hot topic since about March of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever any of these generational planets move into Aquarius, which a lot of them did when we were born, Neptune was in Aquarius, Uranus was in Aquarius, technology really starts to boom. We're part of the generation that when we were kids, social media took off. The internet took off. All of us knew how to type. That's what they put in our schools and our curriculums. And so it's just something that's super hyper present. But now that Pluto is there, it's going to be completely all around us. And you're going to see a whole lot of AI stuff that's happening in the next 20 years.
Right.
I do think that there is risk associated with that.
Of course.
But the greatest thing about Pluto being in Aquarius is the power that it gives to the people. Because Pluto is power and Aquarius almost represents the people. And so there will be a lot of power returned to the masses and, taken away from the governments and stuff like that.
Okay.
But, when you talk about the U.S. government, there will be a big reshaping of our government because we are a very young nation. And they say that democracies typically last about 250 years before it transitions or disappears. Well, we 250 years in the game.
We don't want the democracy to disappear.
We don't. But I want to say that next year makes 250 years as a nation.
That's what Trump was talking about.
Yeah, and we're on the road, and I don't like to get too political. I'm a journalist at heart too.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I try to be objective. But we are moving towards an oligarchy, where the power is centralized in the wealthy, and these are the people that have the largest influence. They make the most important rules and things like that. So even if they're not the elected official, their influence is what is shaping our government.
Yeah.
And so I do know that the last president made a statement about that, and not to choose any sides, but there's a lot of truth within that, And so it is super scary because there's a distance and a lack of understanding with people that are extremely wealthy and those that want to be, and so it's something to look out for. It's something to be aware of because the wealthy will have the greatest influence, but they won't stay wealthy if everybody's wealthy.
Right. That's look, we need to get wealthy and get on the other side or something.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly. Now, another generational planet that I really want to touch on, and this tends to shake people when I talk about it.
Okay.
So Neptune.
Okay.
Neptune is also a pretty slow-moving planet. It doesn't move as slow as Pluto does, but it's super, super slow-moving. So in 2011, Neptune entered Pisces. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. It's this spiritual zodiac sign. It's this woo-woo zodiac sign, very connected to things like the stars and shit like that. But since 2011, the whole world has been on this natural kick, this vegan kick, this cancel culture, this nice whatever, feelings, things like that.
Yeah.
And this year in March, Neptune is going to make its first entrance into Aries. And so Aries and Pisces are different. Aries is the first sign, Pisces is the last sign. As you go through the zodiac, the signs mature, and Aries is a zodiac sign associated with confrontation, with war, with
Aries.
with fire, with action and things like that. Aries is the sign of Mars, the god of war. Mm-hmm. And so the last time that Neptune was exactly where it is right now, at the final degrees of Pisces, was right before the slaves were freed. That was the last time it was there. It has not been there since then. It moves that slow. So right before slaves were freed, what were they saying? Oh, they're people too.
Right.
They have feelings too.
Right.
No, you can't be racist. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then the year that Neptune entered Aries, the last time the Civil War began. That year. The Civil War is the bloodiest war that any American has ever fought. We lost more American lives in that war than in any other that we've ever been associated with. But Neptune represents our dreams, our imagination, our fantasies, and the things that we fantasize about doing. Mm-hmm. And so I know that within the last, since 2011, there has been a big push towards things like astrology. This has been something that people are much more interested in. They're talking about more. It's always been there, but just the old witches talked about it, but it's something that's very immersed in all kinds of culture, all kinds of TV. Everywhere you go, there's somebody that's talking about the same stuff that I am, But Aries is very different from that. Aries is we're about to fight. And it doesn't mean that that's who Aries people are, but you will meet a lot of Aries that are very forthright people that are very brave, and it's time to throw down, know? And so that's where we're going. Probably, famous Aries, back to Sexy Red.
Okay.
You got Summer Walker. You got, who else is in Aries?
I would like for you to read Summer Walker's whole chart. If you ever
adore her,
her, don't do it now. But whenever you get the chance, I would like to know more about her.
I got you.
She's so damn. I can't really get to her.
Put a finger on.
She's something. But I'll say this: my best friend of almost 20 years is in Aries, and she shares a lot of the same zodiac signs as Summer Walker. And I don't know what my draw is to her. And I'm not saying Summer, but my best friend, but we're almost 20 years in this, and I don't know, I just cannot imagine not having her in my life, and so I like that forthrightness, because a lot of Aries are not so polished, nor do they give a fuck about being polished, they don't give a fuck about how it looks or how it comes out or anything like that. I can appreciate that,
stop thinking of yourself.
No matter how invasive it might be, bad
an authentic person.
Love. They're a mess, but it's a mess that I can handle.
Yeah, but you can always tell when they're just being themselves. Like though you may not live like them or agree with them, they are being themselves. They're not acting. I can always tell when you acting versus when you be yourself.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as no matter how weird or crazy you are, and if you being yourself, I just like that. It's like you being your fucking self instead of conforming to So I just fuck that.
And a lot of Aries, they don't even know to give a fuck at the time. A lot of them don't even know that they should be giving a fuck in a certain situation. And
I'm supposed to give a fuck.
But that Neptune and Aries transit will be something. It will be something. That Pluto and Aquarius transit, it will be something too, but this decade that we're in, the 2020s, it will be one of the most transformational decades of the next 100 years. And we're living in it. But, this will be one of the most interesting decades when history looks back. And so.
Right. Wow. Ooh, that was a lot.
That was crazy. The fact that we just got read like that. And it was so accurate, informative, well spoken.
I would say it's kind of like refreshing because it's like you see me,
Yeah, and you're explaining it for others to see us. Even if they find themselves having the same placements as us, they can now get into it
because they may have Ashay is this way or Ash is this way, but
exactly.
No,
read into it because I
maybe this is why we're this way or something.
I'm sending this to Kayana.
You should.
You see this bitch. You heard what he said about me.
You should. And I make it a point to say that I don't do this to excuse behavior, but just to put words on it, because when you can put words on it, you can control it. That doesn't mean that you're going to stop yourself, but you're going to project these energies that you have in the best way way that you can.
Yeah, you know what it is. And, you know, like I obviously knew what I was doing and how I was, but then you explain it to me.
Right.
It's like, well, that's the reason why. You know, this is where it comes from. It's like,
yeah, I'm seeing.
Yeah, I'm obviously not the only one who probably does.
Yeah. For sure.
We appreciate you for giving us our reading.
I wish it so bad.
I mean, I was going to kind of get into some more astrology, but I feel like the reading was
there.
You know, and then
it read down.
The retrograde is what I was going to ask about anyway, so you kind of already explained that. I just wanted to know what that was. So moving back, I see that now.
Because I do hear that a lot on the media, like, we're in a retrograde.
Yeah. Now I see why they're so in a funk about it, because it's going backwards.
Right. And Mercury retrograde is obvious to everybody. Even if you don't give a fuck about astrology, when Mercury is in retrograde, it is obvious.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Dang.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get into my bag. Okay.
You absolutely should. And I want to mention to all of your viewers, when you're watching or reading your horoscope, do not watch it for your sun sign. Always watch it for your rising. Always. Never. If you're a Pisces, don't look at the horoscope for Pisces. Look at the rising sign each and every single time. Every time.
Wow. Okay.
Every time. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna do that then.
That's great insight.
Please.
Thank you.
Well, let's get into some little drinking game.
Let's do it. Goodness.
Top it off like that.
Let's do.
So now we're gonna play intoxication.
Intoxication.
So it is a fun little drinking game. It has like different cards. So it's like party, solo, vote, and dare card.
Gotcha.
So like if you pull a party, it'll be like all of us. And if you do a solo, it's just you.
Okay.
And then the vote, we vote. And then the dare, you do the dare.
Shit.
So let's see.
Goodness, I can't shuffle. Thank you for not asking me.
I can't shuffle.
You know when they do that shit. I want to learn how to.
Cool.
I want to. But
I've been seeing people go,
show off.
Okay.
Show off. Shit. Goodness. Well, you're better than I ever be. So shit.
I need some. These are still kind of tight when I did.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
I thought about like working in a casino, but I don't like club scenes. I don't like party scenes.
Yeah.
There's no windows. I might have a little bit of a fear of the dark. I don't know.
Yeah.
They do that on purpose. I hear no windows and no clocks, so you don't know how long you're there.
So yeah, not for me.
I definitely have to work on the non-smoking side because I would pass out.
Oh shit.
Of the casino?
Yeah.
Cigarette smoke in the air.
Cigarette smoke is terrible. I hate it. It's so strong and it stains.
No shade to cigarette smokers. No shade.
I mean,
maybe big shade because it's just stink.
Be yourself, as I once stated, but it do stink.
Am I first?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Vote. Most likely to die alone. Player with the most votes takes a drink.
Like me, man.
Goodness. Well, I'm super codependent. Super codependent.
Really?
I am.
So dying alone is not an option for you.
I'm a lover boy.
I'm a lover girl. I don't know.
I'm just saying, we started off the conversation with in high school, that was my reputation.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. I feel like my high school relationship consumed me too, though. I feel like I was in a relationship. Well, in my senior year, I was single, but it still consumed who I broke up with. Goddamn it! So
this doesn't necessarily mean a relationship. This can mean in the fucking bedroom by yourself, in the car by yourself. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
maybe they are saying it from like a partner aspect, but
I don't know. Seems like we're all lovers here. Maybe we should pull another card.
I mean, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. Another vote.
Type it away.
Who's most likely to unalive someone? Player with the most votes takes 2 drinks.
I feel like when we pulled this card, I voted you because I said that you were the only one who had like a reason to like go, spaz and crash. She was like, you know.
All right, so we're both in the nation.
Just to make it a vote.
Unalive someone is crazy.
Well, yeah, obviously taking a life is quite crazy, but
handle your business. Handle your business, and you can pour a little bit of a double. You don't have to take 2.
Yeah,
I know this isn't my facility to facilitate.
Yeah, you did right.
But I mean,
we be cheating when it comes to the liquor. I'm not gonna lie.
I figured.
Alrighty, name vote. Who's the winners? Player take the most drink, or player with the most votes take a drink? I vote myself.
I was gonna vote myself.
Okay,
I'm like, weird is such a, it's kind of a mean word to me, but I mean,
look how you look at it. Weird don't have to be bad.
I mean, it doesn't have to be bad, but then, like, I think you say, "Oh, you're weird." You know, it's automatically people look at that. It's like, "Dang, why you call me weird?" Yeah, like a negative thing. Yeah, I guess I'll say you. Yeah.
Okay, the reason that I would say me...
Because you know so freaking much about everything.
No. I feel like growing up, I was definitely a super isolated kid. Mm-hmm. I did not have friends because other kids found me to be quite weird. And so, I'm just going to embrace it now. Me and my mom were having a conversation about that. And so I just take it for what it is. But
it's so crazy you said that you didn't have a lot of friends. And then, like, now, you know everybody.
Yeah, and I think that what it was, I think that the shit that I wanted to talk about, the way that that Aries Mercury just letting shit come out my mouth, I think that other kids were just kind of like, who is this? Who the fuck is this? And I was from Milwaukee, moved down south. And,
But when you came, you were so like, my name is Fernando, who, nice to meet you,
I'm here to stay. What's up?
Well,
it wasn't shy.
Yeah.
But no, the weird, I don't think weird is a bad thing. It's becoming a compliment these days.
I think I must be like, get called weird. Why are you calling me weird,
Fuck.
Okay, it says there, let the person to your left go through your search history.
We went through the search history so many times.
So many times. I thought it was telling me to. It says solo, fake an orgasm with your current partner. I thought it was telling me to fake an orgasm. I'm like, oh no. I've never done that. So.
It was solo. That was just her.
Okay, so if I pull a dare, who is it? Is it for me?
For you, yeah.
Oh, I'm taking a shot. I'm taking a fucking shot. It says, show my eyes only to another person and take a drink.
You don't want to show us that?
The my eyes only folder on Snapchat, even on the camera roll, I might as well just finish this. Fuck it. The answer is absolutely fucking not. God damn.
What's in the my eyes only folder?
Don't ask, won't tell.
I was wondering.
Hell no. This is PG-13.
No, you wasn't gonna show the camera. Hell no.
Oh no.
You were gonna show whoever to your left or your right,
but still, we don't have to see.
Yeah, we're not being invasive, but just to let you know, it wasn't that.
The weird votes would go up. Fuck it. So.
Not being invasive, but just to let you know, or anyone, when you pull these cards, it's not to show the camera. Please don't show YouTube.
Our page probably don't get taken down.
With that, for sure.
We don't go viral for sure.
Well, yeah. Perhaps.
Sex sales.
They do. All
right, I did a party, so it's everyone. If you've sent a nude this week, take a drink.
Oh, hell no.
Not sent one this week.
Yesterday.
Maybe last week.
I don't remember the last time I did. I don't. I'm a grandpa these days.
Hey, nude art.
It is. No shade, no shame. But Papa,
we're on a little titty. On a lunch break.
They're not sent, they're safe.
I did used to do that before, like just saving them.
We did the things. Okay, we did this one too. But this was a different part. So, party. If you ever had a whole phase, take a drink.
Oh, fuck. So, what do you think a whole phase is? We've had this conversation many times.
Well, so, I think that for a lot of people, they define a whole phase as when you're just out here just doing what you want, just living freely, letting that freak flag fly, But, I imagine that a whole phase would be that, being a cheater, maybe. You were a hoe. She's a hoe. He's a hoe. Yeah. And so I haven't cheated in my adult life. I haven't cheated on any of my partners since being an adult. And I'm not saying... Don't get me wrong, cheating's wrong. It's wrong. But I'm not that person that's going to condemn it like the next, But, I haven't done any cheating or anything like that. Not because it's fucking wrong, but I just haven't done any.
Yeah.
And so, maybe I haven't had a whole phase.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I haven't had
a whole phase either.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I agree.
I don't only joke about having a whole face because of something I did back in the day.
I got you.
But
I got you.
yeah, that's just like something that's not something I was doing consistently.
Yeah, it wasn't a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Right.
I was just like, let me pack my whole bag for the weekend, But
because I do feel like people go through those phases, not to be judged, but I think people do that.
Yeah. Now, given I have had eras in my life where it's like, okay, I'm single, we ball.
Yeah.
But that was not my definition of hoe. So
because hey. You can't just call anything a hoe.
Yeah.
There are real deal hoes out there.
Real hoes.
Like E Kane, she's a proud hoe.
Yeah.
Wait, who?
E Kane from TikTok.
Oh, so I'm grandpa?
Well, you don't know E Kane. Everybody knows me.
Be shaving her head. Every blue moon or every 2 seconds, actually.
I would say my feed is funny as fuck, but I don't spend a lot of time on TikTok, you know.
Don't get addicted to it because you will. But she's she got famous from like outing herself for being a hoe. Like she said, I think she had like 80-something bodies, and like that's what she got famous from talking about
she's
that.
Very open about.
But I'm saying those are hoes. Yeah, STDs, baby daddy problems.
Okay.
She'll literally say like, telling stories about how she fucked the whole house with somebody. How she met her baby daddy is because he was in the house of a group of people she fucked. He was one of the people wasn't around.
Got you.
But that's what I'm saying. It's hoes out there. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
To be just throwing the word around.
I got you. Okay.
So
cool. Is it my pool?
Yoga.
Shit. Shit.
I pulled that.
Confess the last lie you told or take a drink.
It could be a little white lie.
Okay. Let me think about the last few days. Let me think, because Esposo Mio is probably going to watch this video. And so Esposo Mio.
What was it?
Mi novio. Well, I won't even. Yeah, mi novio. Fuck
yeah, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, mi novio.
Okay.
But speaking Spanish.
So he's from Mexico.
Mm-hmm. I know novio.
It sounds like you said my nigga in Spanish.
You know how
no.
I heard me.
You better.
And then novio
at the Halloween.
Yeah. Oh, this is his name.
No, it's a word.
We're not gonna name drop.
Yeah, that's what I thought you was doing. I mean, I'm fine with that. But the me part is Spanish, like me.
Mine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Got it.
Yeah.
Who? Like
Chico, the only Chico in the room.
Oh, I didn't know. Sorry, I didn't know.
Well, you know,
I'm sorry.
That's how I move. That's how I move.
You don't even know when it's in the room.
I don't like to assume.
Well, you know.
I don't like to assume.
I play it real cool.
You did.
I play it real cool.
So never knew.
That's my boy though. That's my boy. And so
see it.
we're gonna think of a lie that has nothing to do with him.
Okay.
Because he's gonna watch this.
Shout out you.
Yeah. The last lie I told. Fuck. I think that sometimes I should probably lie more. You know,
maybe like on the way or something.
Yeah.
Just on the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Well. So okay. I'm going to Atlanta on Monday, and I had to request off work Monday and Tuesday. And my boss knows I'm going to Atlanta, but he doesn't know it's for another interview.
Oh.
And I feel bad because I love my boss. I really, really do.
Mm-hmm.
We're super, super close. I'm not even going to lie to you. And the reason I lied is because I'm not ready to tell him that I'm looking elsewhere.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be an emotional moment.
I'm about to say
It's going to be sad as fuck. And so, you know, I'm just not ready for that. And so
it's okay. It's a good lie.
Grow, you know,
Solo, if you secretly pulled up to where your girlfriend or boyfriend is to see if they're really there, take a drink.
Have you done?
I'm glad I
just don't know if it was a boyfriend. I would say like it was. I'm referencing the relationship. With the guy was older.
Okay.
But which I do feel like we spent enough time together to say relationship, but
official
I never called him my boyfriend.
The title was never on.
You know, but I feel like we dealt with each other long enough to say like my me and my woman.
I got you.
So I'm gonna take a shot because I did pull up one.
Do your thing. I don't know why I thought that this was a drink.
It is, but not alcohol. It's my chaser.
Yeah. Oh shit. I don't do the chasers. Fuck it.
I got to have a chaser.
Okay, so this one is a float card. It says who is the worst cook. Do you be throwing down? You know how to cook?
I can cook.
I can cook too. I wouldn't say I can throw down, but I can cook.
Yeah. I wouldn't say I'll throw down either.
Yeah.
But I can cook.
What y'all saying throw down? Because if you can cook, you can cook. That's what
Yeah, throw down like, baby, I can't make no whole Thanksgiving spread from scratch.
Well, you know, I feel like this.
I feel like anybody can. It's just directions, but I don't.
Yeah, I do really good with the directions too because I'll try some new shit and it always come out good.
Yeah.
But what's important to me, I love the curb appeal. It needs to look as good as it tastes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can make that shit look good.
Yeah. Yeah, throw down to me, I guess, would just be like, I make this shit from scratch.
Like you make it dressed.
With no directions or anything. I threw down. Like I
mean, the regulars, you don't want to need directions for. I'm trying something new, okay, maybe, but the regular shit, you know, meals that you repeat or whatever, I don't need.
I don't need them directions, but like I can't, you know.
You make gravy from scratch.
I'm trying to think of like, no, you might give me my little pouch at the water.
I mean, shit.
I can make some gravy from scratch now, but that's real easy. I feel like, you know.
Yeah, but it's just like I just don't know how to do that.
Right, you're getting there.
Yeah,
big Capricorn rising. You're just saying.
Yeah. That's why I needed TikTok because I reference.
Yes. No, me too. Me fucking too.
Yeah.
But that's about
TikTok has so many things.
That's another one.
That's about all I use TikTok
crock pot for Christmas. So crock pot meals are on the way. Okay, it says there, show the last 10 photos in your camera roll.
Fuck.
10 photos?
I'm glad I delete my
your one you just said yesterday.
My news of today.
Shittle. You know, I'm thinking mine are just screenshots. Oh, well, I was at a baby shower and there's a bunch of baby shower pictures.
I think she did a solo or you did a party.
Yeah, that was me. Mine is literally from yesterday when we went out. You know how like Instagram saves to your photo thing? So that's literally all. Let's see.
Cute. Y'all's hair was fire.
Yeah.
Where'd you go? What was it?
Infusions.
Is that in Arkansas?
Cute. Yeah, it's the hookah lounge on right there.
Pom-pom.
So this is we're going to Nashville for my bachelorette party. So I'm picking up stuff, a new place I want to take Darian.
Oh, I love that.
I'm just the girl.
I love that. That looks really good.
Bridesmaid dresses. Looking for.
Looks really good.
Yeah, that's it.
That looks good as fuck. Yeah, I love that. I love that. So it's just you with the last 10, right?
Yeah.
Mine was boring.
I think mine too. All right, you can do one more round if you want.
I got you. Solo. Oh, fuck. I'm scared to read this. If you've ever hooked up with a stranger, take 2 drinks.
If not.
You know, admittingly, a lot of what gay culture is you know, stranger hooking up and stuff like that, you know. And so
I hear that a lot.
Yeah, it is. And it's sad, but you know, it's true.
I mean, culture is culture, not to be judged by anything, because some people don't take sex as seriously as others. So you just
yeah, I mean, and maybe they should. We should, you know.
To each his own, I feel.
Yeah, like you being safe, whatever.
Yeah, you know,
or what the purpose you're having sex for, I guess.
I mean, but being with a stranger is not necessarily safe.
No, but how you be? I mean, even with a stranger, not being safe is not safe at all. I mean, even if it ain't a stranger.
Yeah, but you know, there's almost a part of me, and I'm ashamed to say it, that prefers to not even know my sexual partner. Mm-hmm. This is complex. We can get into it. I just form tighter bonds with people that I don't necessarily have a sexual relationship with. And you know, for me, sex is something that I don't over-identify with. I'm not a super horny person, and so when I do it, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, but it's something that I kind of want to forget about, you know. And so, you know,
you ever seen Euphoria?
Yes.
You know, Rue, she wasn't really sexual. Right. She built her relationships off of how they made her feel.
Right.
She didn't really get into sex like that. So that's
exactly. You know, and I feel like for my longest lasting relationships, you know, sex was far from like a number one contributing factor to that lengthy relationship, you know. And so, and I have incredible sex partners that I could never see myself dating, you know. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, y'all. Alrighty, ho. Remember to like, comment, subscribe to our YouTube if you have not already.
Talk to me nice. I don't talk to me nice.
Yes, y'all. And thank you again for coming, Fernando.
Thank y'all. Yay. This was so much fun. I'm so grateful.
You come back anytime.
Anytime.
Please.
All right, y'all. Bye.